Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM Big Dog Country Radio. And Bob, what happened to Steelers yesterday?
Well, they got whipped.
A firm grasp of the obvious there, huh, Bob?
Yeah, they just made some stupid mistakes. They had a first and goal at the 5, and they got in a fight, and they got 2 penalties called on them. And Najee, who never fumbles the ball, fumbled a pitch inside the 15. So they just, as Coach Tomlin said after the ball game, they didn't do the fundamentals right and cost the ball game. But they clinched the playoff spot thanks to the Colts and the Dolphins both losing. So they're in. So they just got to heal up. Hopefully get Pickens back. He's been hurt with a hamstring. T.J. Watt hurt his foot yesterday, so they're going to shut him down until the playoffs. So hopefully they can gear up, win the division, and get a good playoff spot and go from there.
Okay.
As long as they're in.
All right.
Once you're in, if you can get in, you can. And let's keep my fingers crossed. But like I said, they just don't have the offense. I said, I'm not. Arthur Smith used to be the coach of the Falcons. He's the offense coordinator for Pittsburgh. I'd shoot him tomorrow. He runs the ball on first down every series, every play. They're so predictable. It's unbelievable. There's no imagination whatsoever.
No imagination.
Every first down, they're running the ball.
All right.
It drives me up the wall.
So ever so often you think they ought to
just throw the ball.
Throw the ball a little bit on first down, loosen up that defense a little bit.
I'm tired of 2nd and 9. The entire NFL knows they're running the ball on first down.
The offense is saying, there's 10 people up here on the line. Just throw the thing.
It's absurd. But Philadelphia's a good football team.
Yes, they are. Yeah, another good football team in the NFC is the Packers. They did great last night over the Seahawks. I mean, jeez.
Buffalo's the team to look out for, though. Josh Allen's definitely the league MVP. I mean, that guy's fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm talking about the NFC. The AFC side, it's Buffalo or Kansas City. Yeah, so we'll see what happens there.
Mahomes got a little scary yesterday.
Yeah, a little scared. You just got a little injury there. I mean, so many injuries. I mean, you just never know from week to week what's going to happen. I mean, the Lions have had several people go down here late in the season, and they're sputtering a little bit. They got to get these guys healthy as they get ready for the playoffs. And so many other teams are the same way. I mean, every team has injuries, so you got to adapt with it, I guess.
Falcons got to win tonight. Stay 1 game behind Tampa Bay.
They got to win tonight, and a good chance too, because they're playing the Raiders.
Right.
Yeah.
But Tampa Bay, big win yesterday over the LA Chargers. I mean, Baker Mayfield on fire yesterday in the second half, throwing touchdown every time he turned around. So Tampa Bay right now has the only way the Falcons get in is they win the division. They can't get in the wild card because
so they got to win that division.
The wild cards are going to that NFC division with the Packers and the Vikings and the Lions. Whoever wins the division, the other 2 are going to get wild card spots. So the Falcons have to win that division. So got to win tonight against the Raiders, but look out for Brock Bowers. He's having a heck of a year with the Raiders. Make sure you cover him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the game plan for the Falcons. Don't let Brock Bowers beat you.
Put 2 guys on him.
That's right. But we'll see how it plays out. But they got to win that ball game.
Okay.
Any anticipation builds for the big playoffs this weekend? College football playoffs this weekend.
This weekend, the playoffs begin.
Friday, 1 game, Indiana, Notre Dame, and 3 games Saturday.
And Georgia will play the winner of the Notre Dame Indiana game, right?
In the Sugar Bowl, New Year's Day.
So we may go back to the Sugar Bowl
against
Notre Dame, which we won the national championship way back in '80. Huh?
If Notre Dame wins, that's the matchup.
Yeah, well, I think Notre Dame's going to beat Indiana. I think they're kind of overrated.
They're at home. I think they should win. So
I think
weather forecast could be a factor there. I'm sure it's going to be cold.
So. It'll be cold, but I don't think Notre Dame's going to have any problems with that. And then what about the Army-Navy game? Great pageantry, great setting. President-elect was there with his posse and so forth. But Navy just had their number. Even though Army only had 1 loss during the season, that was the Notre Dame. They got handled. They got handled. Navy they came to play.
They did come to play. They whipped up on Army.
Yes, they did. I was hoping to be a closer game, but it was there for a long time. But then you could just see that Navy was I don't know if it's better talent or just more desire to play or better play calling or what, but they end up winning that game. But, what a game. I can see why a lot of folks, that would be football fans, sports fans, that would be on their bucket list to go to an Army-Navy game. Yeah. It is something else. And seemed to go well there where the Commanders play there in Washington, D.C. As they said, the stadium's only 15 miles away from the White House. So Trump was a little closer. He was there. The stadium 15 miles, and in about 5 weeks now he'll be back in the White House, or 6 weeks, somewhere along in there. But great football action yesterday, and the Army-Navy game, and then Monday Night Football, as we just mentioned, the Falcons at the Raiders, and our coverage will begin at 6:30 satellite. Hopefully the satellite reception will be okay. So it'll be start at 6:30, and then 8:30 is kickoff between the Falcons and the Raiders. Go Falcons. Got to have it. Got to have it.
Falcons just need Kirk Cousins to throw to the right colored jerseys.
That's right. Throw it to the red or the black. I'm not sure what we're going to have on. Don't throw it to the gray or the white.
He's been having trouble doing it the last several weeks.
Somebody check his eyes and see if he's colorblind.
A lot of Falcon fans calling for Michael Penix to get a shot, but the coaching staff is staying with Kirk Cousins because they're paying him all that money. So see how he plays tonight. Hopefully, like I said, he won't turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
But that's been the downfall of the Falcons the last several weeks, is all those interceptions.
Yeah, something's happening there. The timing's off, or something's off. And it's just not doing good there. And of course, Brady had his comments about Belichick going to North Carolina, going to North Carolina Tar Heels. He says, Brady says, kind of blew me away when I heard the news. I didn't think that was an opportunity he was looking at, but they're getting a tremendous coach. And being in that locker room with him for as many years as I was, and the guys are going to play hard for him, and he's going to coach them well. So it took him by surprise, blew him away, because I knew the week before he said, ain't no way he's going to do that. But when you don't get an offer from the NFL and you want to coach, and you got North Carolina saying, come, he went.
It took everybody by surprise. The interesting story was before he took the job in North Carolina, he called the New York Jets to see if they were interested in hiring him as their next head coach, and the Jets balked and said they weren't.
Yeah, well, they said Belichick actually called the Jets and said, "Are you going to?" And then and they said, "Well, after the, he didn't want to wait. Belichick actually called them, according to Fox NFL Sunday yesterday. That Belichick called them and said, "Well, we're just going to have to wait." And Belichick said, "No, I'm not going to wait." And so he went ahead and took North Carolina.
It's just amazing to me that you got all those Super Bowl trophies and nobody in the NFL is interested in you becoming their coach.
Now, the best coach out, the most winning coach ever.
Just mind-boggling.
Next to Sheila, but
it's hard to understand why a franchise like Atlanta last year, or the Jaguars this year, or the Jets, or anybody looking for a head football coach wouldn't want supposedly the GOAT.
You think the owner of the Patriots said, call up the other owner, said, "That'd be a great favor for me if you don't hire him or something"?
I have no idea what's going on.
You wouldn't think he would do that, but for him not to be hired,
it's just puzzling.
It is.
It's just hard to understand. But if you're a college player, though, what better place to go than coach and play under Bill Belichick? He'll definitely get you ready for the NFL. So
that's right. They said he's already got a commitment now from one of the top quarterbacks in the nation.
I'm sure. Anyway, if you're a college athlete, you're probably
going to play for the GOAT.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is puzzling that nobody in the NFL seems interested in him being the head coach. That is
amazing.
Maybe they all just love Don Shula. They don't want him to pass his record.
I don't know what it is.
There's got to be some reason.
There's got to be some. Because you got a lot of different owners up there, a lot of different situations. You figure one say, well, we're going to throw the dice and go for the most winningest coach ever in Super Bowls.
I thought for sure the Falcons were going to go get him last year. I thought Arthur Blank was going to, he met with Arthur Blank several times, but they didn't pull the trigger.
They said the upper management didn't want Belichick there because Belichick wanted too much power. They wanted too much control. And they didn't want to give up that control, and so Blank didn't want to upset the chemistry of the management of the Falcons.
Jacksonville would be a good spot for him because the Collins don't get involved, and they let him run the show. So he definitely not going to Dallas because Jerry wants to run the show.
Oh no, he can't go to Falcons. That was a big mistake when Parcells went there years ago. You got the old time coaches there that it's their way or the highway.
still puzzling, but it is what it is.
Okay.
North Carolina, so seems happy. So wish him well.
Wish him the best. And had a lot of events that went on in Jesup and Scriven and Odom over the weekend with the parade in Scriven and
Christmas in the park.
Christmas in the park with the snow, and then Odom having all their activities. And
Friday night, Jesup had another nice event.
Yep, and Jesup had that event for Christmas downtown.
Another great crowd. A lot of people took advantage of those carriage rides. Thanks to Gene McLean for providing that service. It was just a nice little
big old
ride.
carriage and riding around Jesup with a whole bunch of folks in it. Just congratulations and thank you to Gene McLean for doing that for the city of Jesup.
Yeah.
Absolutely great. And so, Bob, we're just a week and 2 days away from Christmas Day.
9 days away.
9 days away from Christmas. We encourage folks to get out there and shop here in Wayne County.
Yep. And Georgia Public TV has those state championship games starting today. I said there's 2 games today, one at 4, one at 7. They got a couple of flag football games at, I think one's at 12 noon, one's at 2 or something like that. But again, the football games start at 4 and 7. The Quad A games tonight between North Oconee and Marist. That should be a fun game to watch.
That's Quad A?
Quad A.
And that's tonight?
Tonight. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
North Oconee and Marist. We played North Oconee a couple years ago in the playoffs. Remember that?
I remember that.
Went up there and got beat.
Yeah. They got a good football program up there.
And they got a good athletic program for sure. But Marist is that private school in Atlanta. So
yep, that Marist.
That should
it's going to be interesting to see what happens between them two.
Should be a good game tonight in that Quad A matchup.
And that's on Georgia Public Television, right?
All right. 7 o'clock tonight. It's the Quad A game.
Okay. And there's games on Christmas Day next week, but that's only on Netflix. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah.
So you got to have a streaming service to be able to pick it up. Can't get it free off broadcast like it should be. You got to pay to watch football.
I've already called my niece's husband. I said, you better have Netflix.
Who's playing on Christmas Day?
The Steelers and the Chiefs play on Christmas Day.
All right, Steelers and the Chiefs on Christmas Day. And there's another one, too.
Yeah, there's
another game, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the other one is, but I know the Steelers play the Chiefs on Christmas Day.
Okay. And did not read something about where there was a football team, was it Marshall or someone like that, who had so many players get into the transfer portal they had to back out of a bowl game?
Marshall won a championship game. They fired their coach, and the whole team went in the transfer portal. So they can't play in the bowl game. They had to find another team. I think I want to say Louisiana is the replacement for Marshall.
So they fired the coach, and the players got upset and said, I'm just going to the transfer portal.
Right. The entire team.
Wow. Well, I think it was 30 of the entire team, wasn't it?
They loved the coach.
30 of the entire team.
So they said, we're done. So I don't know why they get rid of the coach. I never
I don't know.
I
don't really keep up with Marshall.
They had a good year. But the players aren't happy, so they just all bailed on the bowl game.
Yeah,
That's the thing about it. You got to find out who plays in these bowl games. Everybody's got their bowl sheets. I told you got to find out who's playing, who's not playing.
Who's playing, who's not playing in terms of teams and players. You don't know who's going to the transfer portal, and you just don't know. You just don't know because of the transfer portal these days.
And the word in Athens is Carson Beck got a little bit better news on his elbow.
Oh, he did?
Apparently, it's not a tear. It's just a badly sprained elbow. They don't think he's going to make it back for the New Year's Day game, but they believe if they advance past that New Year's Day game, there's a possibility he could be on the field in the next game. And they're not ruling him out for the New Year's Day game, so it hasn't been ruled out entirely. But he's not practicing right now. He's still recovering. But the good news is there was not a tear. It doesn't have to have surgery. It just has to heal back up. So the question is, how fast does it heal? But
right. How fast does it heal?
But they said yesterday he's not been ruled out completely, but they don't think he'll play in the New Year's game. They're looking for Gunnar Stockton to do that, but they believe if Georgia gets past that New Year's Day game, he'll be ready to go in the semifinal game. So that could be some good news for Georgia fans. Hopefully he can come back.
Yeah. It must be heck of today being just kind of a different situation for the coaches today, because it used to be you recruited a player, you got them out of high school, and then you had them for those 3 to 4 years usually. But now you're constantly not only recruiting high school players, you're continuing to recruit the players you got to make sure they stay there and don't go in the transfer portal, because somebody's out there saying, we need you and we got a pile of money here for you, and you're going to start, and
It's like
you
Christmas.
don't know.
It's like Christmas shopping. They're looking for presents.
Yeah.
They're on the phone saying, word is we're going to get Georgia Tech's #1 receiver, Singleton. So that's the big word in Athens. They're looking forward to him coming. So we'll see how that plays out. So
Yeah.
I'm sure Georgia Tech fans won't be happy about that. So, but that's the word is that Singleton, their top receiver, is looking to come to Georgia. So
Okay.
but all that takes place in the next couple of weeks. Everybody's in
Yeah,
the transfer
once all that's
portal.
done,
So
we get through the holidays, I guess. Do you get through the holidays and then they decide where they want to go?
Ware County's Thomas Castellanos, that star quarterback. He transferred to FSU because Gus Malzahn's the new offense coordinator at Florida State. So he coached him at UCF. So Thomas Castellanos leaving Boston College to go to Florida State to be the quarterback down there. So it'll be fun to watch. They're getting a good one at Tallahassee. Good quarterback.
It's going to, it's a whole different ball game today in college with NIL and transfer portal and all that.
I said you can be competitive.
Well, that's the reason why they said that Bill Belichick can do so well, because he didn't have to go and get all his players from high school. He can just go out there and say, "Hey, I'm Bill Belichick. I can get you the pros. Transfer over here to me. We got some boosters here that's willing to open up their pocketbook a little bit, and it's a whole different ball game today." I mean, at least in pro, you get you got a guy and you've got a signed contract. He's going to be there for a certain amount of time.
Like they said, the biggest thing he's got to find out. I mean, that's basketball country. They got a lot of boosters that put out a lot of money for their basketball players. The question is, are they going to need any boosters that put out money for the football players? Time will tell.
I didn't know it's been since 1980 since they've won an ACC championship in football. You're thinking, 40 years just about that they would have. Now, they won some in basketball, of course, but they hadn't in football. That's a long time.
That's it. Yeah. Indiana's basketball country. They got their team in the playoffs, so things have changed. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays. Well, the big money is from football.
All the pressure this weekend, though, is in Columbus on Ohio State's Ryan Day. So if he loses that playoff game after losing to Michigan, they say he's on his way out the door.
Well, somebody will pick him up in a heartbeat. He's a good coach. So I don't think he's worried about where his next paycheck's going to come from. Yeah, and of course I don't know what his buyout is either with Ohio State. Who do they play their first round?
They got Tennessee.
Well, that ought to be a good game.
That'd be a real good game.
Yeah, that'll be a good game.
Yeah, that's probably the best matchup of the four. I said
Of this weekend. Yeah.
I don't think Clemson can play with Texas, and I don't think SMU can play with Penn State, and I don't think Indiana can play with Notre Dame, but I think Tennessee can give Ohio State everything they want this weekend in Columbus, and plus all that pressure on. And you go back and look at that Michigan-Ohio State game. Michigan just ran the ball down Ohio State's throat.
And that's what they've done for the last 4 years.
Tennessee's got a good running back. So I look for a lot of running in that ball game by the Volunteers.
They have manhandled Ohio State for the last 4 years.
It's going to be fun to watch. Like I said, it's finally here. It's expanded to 12 teams this year. It's not the perfect system, but it's better than what it's been. I'm sure it's going to create a lot of excitement, a lot of TV ratings. Be interesting to see how it stacks up against the NFL, because like I said, the NFL right now is king of TV. But like I said, those NFL games are competing this weekend with the at least on Saturday. They've got a NFL
there are some
game.
Saturday games this weekend on the NFL, aren't they?
Yep.
Yep.
The Steelers play Saturday against the Ravens. I'll be flipping back and forth. I'll have the clicker.
That clicker before that clicker. Get you an extra set of batteries, Bob, just in case.
I'll have the clicker. And
That's right. Get you an extra set of batteries in case you wear it down. And but it'll be interesting to see how all that turns out. But there's over 300 million people in the country. If you get, they're happy if they get 10 million people watching something. So
be interesting how the ratings stack up.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how that is. But as you did mention, NFL is top, but they don't have near as many teams as college does, and so by a lot. So college audience is split up between all those folks. And a lot of NFL teams have national followings. I mean, Kansas City was playing on the road this weekend, weren't they?
Yeah, they were Cleveland.
They were at Cleveland, but
Yeah,
you
they
saw a
beat
lot
Cleveland.
of red jerseys in that stadium. A lot of them. But that's the way it is. It's just like with the Steelers. Wherever the Steelers go, you see a lot of the gold and black up there, no matter who they're playing. So there's some teams out there just have big national followings for some reason.
The city of New York took over the Jacksonville Stadium Sunday. It was all Jet fans.
Is all Jet fans? I didn't know there was national Jet fans.
A pile of Jet fans in that stadium.
There must be some transfers from people getting jobs from up north down in the Jacksonville area.
When Aaron Rodgers threw that long touchdown pass, it sounded like they won the Super Bowl when Jacksonville.
I know. I was there one time when the Jags were playing Philadelphia, and there was so many Eagle fans there. I mean, I was in the the club seat area there, and I was just surrounded by Eagle fans, and they're doing their chant. They have cheer. They're like choreographed. They all get up and do this little dance type thing. Then they're all green everywhere. You're doing this dance and singing, and they have these little chants and stuff like that. It was just I haven't seen anything like that before with the Jags or the Falcons. But they sure did in Philadelphia. I mean, it was like they all went to a training camp for Eagle fans to learn all these little cheers and chants and movements and dances and stuff like that. I was amazed. Absolutely amazed.
They're passionate for sure.
Yep. Anything going on locally this week with anything?
I said everything's shut down. There's no meetings until after the first of the year, so not much going on.
Not much going on. We do like to congratulate the esports team for Wayne County High School, 3rd in the state.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, good showing for them. So.
Good showing for the esports team. So congratulations to the players, the coach, the parents, the community for supporting the esports team.
Both basketball teams won Friday up here, so they're in action on the road tomorrow at Brantley, but they're home this Thursday taking on Long County. So those sports teams are still in full swing.
Yeah, the basketball's still going strong, and I'm not sure if they play the last 2 weeks of the month during Christmas and New Year's. Usually they have a Christmas or some sort of tournament during that time period, don't they?
I think they're going to Vidalia for a tournament over the holidays.
All right. So usually the basketball team does that, and then they'll get ready for region play after the first of the year, after they do all these warm-up games beforehand. Used to be the Wayne County, Long County basketball games years ago was very big. Is it still that way, Bob?
It's still a nice rivalry. I said Long County's got good athletics, but they've played one time already. They play Thursday here at home, so.
Aren't they up to AAA now?
They're AAA.
That's amazing. I mean, they went from A to AA to AAA as that county just continues to grow a population as it's pouring over from Liberty County there.
Hard to believe that Long's AAA and Baxley's AA and Pierce is
Isn't that
AA.
amazing? How is that? How is Ackland County and Pierce County AA and Long County is AAA? I got to take a look at you can go on the website and see enrollment at each one of the high schools. That is amazing, isn't it?
If you can figure out the GHSA, good luck. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the.
Well, you got to get the enrollment. See what the enrollment is. You can go to every high school and see what the enrollment is.
All I want for Christmas is to get rid of the GHSA. That's it.
And then what do you want to replace it with, Bob? Somebody's got to look over the.
There's smart people out there just like get rid of the NCAA.
But you still got to form another organization. You still got to have a ruling organization.
They come up with a better system, I promise you.
You think so? All right. Well, you got to come up with a plan, Bob. You just can't say you don't like it. You got to come up with a plan that's better.
First, I got to get rid of that current plan. I'll come up with a plan once I get rid of the old plan.
Oh, you're going to come up with a plan after.
Yeah,
That's not the way it works, Bob. You got to have a plan beforehand.
Well, first, I got to get rid of it.
All right, Bob. You have a good day. All right, the world famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO has been brought to you by the Service Department at GNS Auto Sales, First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, and O.C. Welch Ford in Hardyville.